Good afternoon and welcome back to the afternoon session after the lunch break. I believe that you are now ready for the activities in the afternoon, which are very interesting. And today, the National Innovation Agency, or NIA, would like to invite you to please come up to the main stage because we will have another interesting session where we will talk about the topic of building a success on the shoulder of the giant. So that will be the next session. So please come up towards the main stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again on this afternoon session right here at Startup Innovation Thailand Expo 2023 or SITE 2023. The next session are going to be conducted in Thai. If you would like to receive the interpretation headset, you can contact our staff and the counter right next to the stage. So right now we are about to begin the next session in a minute. So I would like to invite anyone who are interested to join, please have a seat right in front of the main stage for now เอาละค่ะตอนนี้นะคะจะขออนุญาตเนี่ยเข้าสู่
Today we will start the next session on building a success on the shoulder of the giant. I would like to invite the Chief Executive Officer of DESPAX, Kun Pathom Pong Di Panya, who will provide us with information on this topic. Please give a round of applause. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. My name is Pathom Pong. I am the CEO and co-founder of DESPAX. And I would like to take this opportunity to share my work with corporations for startups who are attending this event. I think for this session, if you would like to have a corporate as a partner, or if you would like to receive funding, then you would receive benefits from this session. Before conducting a startup, me and my team were normal employees, but we had a common goal. We wanted to own a company, but due to our limitations, we weren't raised up in a well-to-do family. We had to take care of our parents, and we also had to save money. So we weren't prepared to invest in a lot of things. We were like this dog. We wanted to see this view, but one reality is that dogs can't fly. Dogs aren't like birds. They don't have a shortcut to fly and see this kind of view. So what the dog can do is to work hard. It had to climb to the top of the mountain to see this view. But what do we have? We have an instinct. We have aggression, we have energy, but what we don't have is we don't have a compass, we don't have a map. Corporations are like this woman. We work together as a partnership, and we grow the startups together, and we can see this view in the future. We don't see the view yet, but in the future we would like to see such a view. So today I will represent startups who work with corporations through fundraising, incubation, and accelerator programs, and I will share my experiences. Why do I have to speak in this session? Because currently, corporations in Thailand are increasingly strong. In the past, people say that corporations are slow, but I don't think so. But because nowadays, they are fish who can swim quickly. They are ships in the ocean. They are very powerful. They have weapons. They have resources. They have money. They have everything. But in order to reach out to new opportunities, since they are big ships, they might not be able to, they need to zigzag through the waters. And so corporations will work with startups. Startups are like speedboats. When we take the speedboats, we can go to various islands. So we can see that currently corporations in Thailand, there are CVCs, which are corporate venture capitals. They have many of their own funds. And I've seen from the startup directory of TechSauce, there are more than 40 CVCs, and I believe that the number will grow. And some corporations also directly invest without going through the investing arm. Within the past 5 to 6 years, there has been more than 14 investments in Thai CVCs, with about 240 investments in startups, deals in startups. So that means CVCs invest in more than half of the deals in startups. So startups cannot overlook corporations. We need to work together. So this is why I need to talk about the work of corporations. So I'll talk a bit about DesPac so you can see what we do. We are an online platform. We work on packaging solutions. And our customers are food techs or restaurants, coffee shops, and they can purchase packaging and also branding and print out logos on their platforms. They can attach their logos, and there are products in every categories that restaurants and coffee shops need. We have customers that are enterprises such as Cafe Amazon, CRG, Minor, Thai Union, Thamachat Seafood, which is a sponsor, and also many coffee shops. We have more than 7,000 customers in the B2B business. So we work with corporations in terms of being a customer and also as investors. So I will share my experience about working together with them. The journey of startups, whether they are general startups or corporate startups, I don't think the journey is different. We start from the test cycle, which is the first phase. We only have ideas, we don't have any products. And the thing we have to do is we need to talk to customers. We need to find the pain point of the customers and validate the ideas and solutions. What solutions should we come up with to answer the needs of customers? And then we develop products and then test it out with customers. And then we conduct a test cycle. We test, we learn, and then we use the feedback of the customers to improve products. And then market validation, is there an opportunity to expand the market? This is the first phase. And the second phase is market penetration, which means we start to expand the market to other provinces nationwide. And the third phase is what we call scaling up. We want to expand the business, and in every stage there is a different process of working, and it's also related to fundraising. In the first phase, which is the test cycle, DesPacs participated in SCG's incubation program called 0 to 1 by SCG. And during the initial phase, so I used to work for SCG as an employee, and I'll talk about what we did when we participated in the program. When we participated in the program, they had something called Hatch Walk Fly, and they had different criteria. And when we built the product, we did fundraising. For the seed round, the initial period, we received funding from SCG Packaging, which is a regional packaging company. They have presence in many countries such as Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. And we also had the opportunity to participate in the second batch of Space F, which is a global food tech accelerator. We were in the second batch, and we have many friends who are startups in this event. We have been supported from Thai Bev, Thai Union, and the NIA Mahidol University. After we expanded our market, we entered the third phase, which is Series A. During the incubator period, we were still with the SCG, but for the seed round, we received funding from SCG Packaging, but for Series A, the funding was from outside investors from OR through, and there's also TKS Group, which is a printing company. It's a public company and also a major holder of Syntex, which is an IT solution company. They give importance in investing in startups. And there's also a financial VC called iSeed Southeast Asia, which invests in many startups in Southeast Asia. So we've received funding from many CVCs. The beginning, startups, general startups, we know that the first thing that we need to do is talk to customers, right? So what we did was we, as customer empathy, we looked at their pain points, the pain points of the customers, and what we can solve for them. In general, I think startups already do this because we need to understand what the customers want. But what we also need to do, there are additional things that we need to do because our customers are not only customers, but they are also corporations. We need to understand that there are many agencies, many units that we need to talk to, that we need to serve, whether they are corporate purposes. Why are they investing in startups? We need to understand this because it's different. If we invest today and we use the product in the startup right away, or are we investing for the future? Or are we investing for financial returns in order to receive profit from the startup? So we need to look at the purpose of the investment in the startup. What do they want? So we know what to do, and we also need to know whether or not the startup and the corporation matches. The second is the business unit needs. What is a business unit? For the corporate purpose, for instance, for SCG, we need to know what the needs of SCG are. And the business unit needs is SCG Packaging. The big corporation and the business unit might have different visions. And so we need to understand that we are serving the customer and also the corporation and business unit.
นะครับ
Third one is studio. Our expect we pass studio. This is the incubator program, and what they have to do. What are the start and end point? KPI of KPO. They have to develop startup that are potential. So we have to see. This is something that studio needs. They may need a different. From business unit. Business unit may look for 10 years, but studio may look at only the present year. They have to really strengthen startup to move forward. So we have to look at step by step. And in terms of governance is what? It's about accounting, it's about tax or legal, law, and human resources. So these are something that most startup may not be interested at the beginning. But in order to work in the with the startup corporate, because corporate use SAP system, corporate use Big Four audited, and corporate has people they cannot hire illegal workers. They're really involved with the labor protection. So you have to understand that, and there are pro and cons, meaning that we can concern about this since the beginning. And next about investment committee. Finally, this is the most important part because we do everything to serve everyone, but investment committee committees are those who make decision to put investment. We have to get their funds, right? If investment committees, if there are 10 of investment committees and who have power to make decision, and if they take the mission from the corporate, but we have to understand that each committee actually they have their own, each of them has own emotion. They may like, they may dislike this and that, they may have belief or disbelief in some business. So sometimes we have to have offline talk. We have to ask them to discuss offline. We have to talk and be open mind and to really measure them. This is a techniques that no one talk to you, but this is something that you have to really considered. Corporate startup, we deal with corporate and customers because corporate will be our key stakeholders in the future. So at the beginning, when we work on startup, the objective is to hold the shares together with the corporates. So let's say if SCG operate in this business for 100 years, they haven't give shares for their staff to hold shares with a corporate. So at the beginning, we could be compared as this lady. We see a big wall and we don't know how to climb this wall. There's no rope, but our duty is to make sure that how we can turn the wall into staircases. So we need to find win-win solution. So if we think that if we win, and if we think about win-loss technique, there will not be corporate innovation. So we have to create, scenario, and we will not have only plan A and B, but we need to have plan C and D also, because we have to serve with different stakeholders. Sometimes we may need to be disadvantaged in order to get some benefits. We have to be flexible. I think that for startup, we have ego, we have our confidence, and we believe that we know the best about this business. But if we use the ego go to work with a corporate, I think that you may be disadvantaged from the first day and you will not get the deal as you want to. This is the truth. So I talked about how to form a team. This is so important. It is as important as other things. This is myself and co-founder, and my name is Tam. We have Kun Tik and Kun Phim. Why I have to talk about team formulation? As I said that we are SCG staff, which is the national company. They have HR strategies. They would like to return, their staff. So every time that the staff would like to resign, the company will offer, a different benefits. So many staff would not like to resign. So one of the milestones that you have to do is to quit SCG's job, because we want to own our business. So forming a team at the beginning, we have to really ask the team members if they are ready to quit the job. Are they ready to leave the job with the current salary? Are they ready to quit? If not, we will know that they cannot join the journey. So we have to have a common goal together to build new business and to be the business owner. So we have to be brave to quit SCG job. And each of the companies are from different background, and we can really help together to drive the business forward. Once we have a strong team, if the team members understand the same goal, if they don't if they're not on the same page, they may give up easily. So if we speak the same language, we'll encourage each other. So once we have the team, we understand customers' needs. We deal with SME. Our major customers are or SME, they have different requirements. They have varieties of products. Let's say think of coffee shop. There are how many products in the coffee shop. It could be hot serve or bakery. They need a frequent delivery. They don't want to stock the products, and this is something that corporate don't need. Corporate would like to make a big sales. They would like to hear the exact delivery cycle. They would like to produce a small SKU, but they can scale up the quantity. So we can see something unmatched between corporate and the customer's requirement. So we can use this idea and pitch back to SCG. We tell them that you are not good at this, but that's our opportunity, because restaurant and food business in Thailand, according to Wong Nai, there are 700,000 of the food business in Thailand, which is very big, but it's so fragmented, and it's not suit for corporate. So we ask them to invest, and we will scale up this business sector. So this is a gap that we can serve, and we can convince the corporates. So we join the incubation program, which is called 0 to 1 program. Let me just promote this program a bit. So 0 to 1 program, it provide ecosystem, and they provide workplaces, and there are mentors who are professional startup. I like to say that a startup corporate are not professional startup, and we are new startup. And we can from this program we can check up every week, and we can see that whether we grow in the right track or not. Anything that we should be prepared and protect. So there are many mentors. Kun Boat from Build One Group, and we have Kun Aim Amarit, Kun Jack Kremti, Kun Boy Scooter, many more, Kun Bell Freshget. So very big name in startup. So, and we have Kun Boy Scooter be our mentor, and they blame me all the time. He kind of remind me all the time, and there's different ways to teach, and there are playbooks, and we visit senior startup, and we can absorb the industrial knowledge more, and we can start working as a startup. Checkpoints of 0 to 1. I like to say that joining this program and living it's not easy. We have to pass 3 criteria. The job. What is the job for studio? For 0 to 1, if you let kind of noob startup and they become bankruptcy, we will be blamed. So we have to really kind of define or improve a startup, and anyone cannot go further. We have to drop them off, and for potential one we should promote them. So this is one of KPI of 0 to 1. And number 1, we have to check, does anyone wants it? We have to think about whether your product could be in demand. Do you have customers? And there are many customer level. Customers can set, tone, or use, repeat that purchase, or advocate. So we have to reach out to repeated and advocated stage in order to make sure that your products are good enough and people need them. So if you say that your products are good, but when you ask customers, they're not gonna buy it, meaning that they don't need your products. The second one is, can we do it? Can we do it mean our capacity, our startup capacity, can we really do it or not? We can dream to create AI system, or we dream to do everything that we can possibly dream, but look at our capability. We cannot really do it in reality. We cannot move forward. If you want to take action, you have to increase your own team capability until you can deliver the product and you are ready to be to scale up, and you can double the customers, triple numbers of the customers. And finally, is it worth it? Is it worth it means, is it worth to really take action? It's about money. It's about profit. So your business, if you have listened to VC folks before they start to focus on profit for customers. It's the time to burn budget from the investor. It comes to the end. So we have to pass these three criteria, and we have to work so hard. Once we pass those criteria, the Studio 0 to 1 is confident that our business is potential, and SCG is convinced to invest, and we confident that we can expand or move our business further. So this is win-win, and everyone will be more confident once we pass the project. And then after that, we what's called everyday sprint mechanism. So this project has been designed very well, because the starting point before entering to this incubation program, the grant it's for 2 million baht that you can be used for marketing expense, PR, launch the booths, or any other activities. Or you may hire additional staff as a contract staff, but within this budget of 2 million baht. But together with we were still SDG employee, and for three founders can still earn salary from SDG still. And if our colleague founders, if they have high salary, the cost will be high. So when we start the team, we're not gonna take senior one. We will take quite same age colleagues, to join, so that this is how we can lower the cost. And there will be corporate allocated costs, such as the accounting fees, HR, and workplace costs, and which is hidden costs. And a corporate startup, we have higher costs than other general startup, because we have costs for the members who already have salaries. So those, and when we combine a couple of costs, it will result in a total overall cost, and there will be transfer pricing. We have to think about tax. The cost of corporate startup is higher than general startups, and the longer you spend, the cost will be higher. And when you have high cost on top, it's cost, right? When you calculate the share proportion, the cost will be the numerator, and denominator would be the startup valuation. The more you grow a startup business, the value will be more. Once you have more cost valuation and you have high valuation, it could result in the founder equity. And if there's a lot of cost with a little valuation, meaning that the SCG will have shares will be a lot, and we have less shares. So you have to balance this. So if you spin off the business, if you raise the funds from outside, and if our share is less than 50%, so we lost control of the company. We lost the control power. We're not going to be the major shareholders. So you have to be careful. We cannot spend a lot of budget. We cannot overspend. We have to create a lot of valuation and grow the business in order to gain quite okay shares, so that we can invest outside. So this is the mechanism that we have thought.
And after that, we spinned off. And we did fundraising from outside investors. And we were able to grow 100% within 12 months and 6 months for external fundraising. So we had Orzon and Next Ventures as shareholders, as additional shareholders. So we expanded our corporate family. And we have to work with corporations such as SCG, OR, TKS, and also venture capitals, which is iSeed Southeast Asia. So you might ask, So you're an SCG employee, and that was why you were able to participate in this project. But what about the general public if you would like to participate in the project? So when I participated, I was in the first batch, and that requires for you to be an employee. But the current project, you don't need to be an SCG employee. So it's open innovation. Anyone can join the program, and you don't need to have a team. If you have an idea, you can look for a team through the hackathon project, and there is no cost, there are no fees to enter the program. You just need passion, you just need time, and you are able to join the program. So what do they provide you with? They have a sandbox, industry experts, funding. They have a playbook. They have a development team and programmers to support you. They have a network like SCG, and these factors enable us to grow more than using our own money and having to struggle to find our own way, but this has supported us a lot. So this is the last slide. In working with corporates, we would have to understand the customer pain points, and we would also have to focus on the big market, because if we conduct business in small markets, corporations might not be interested because they need to take into account the revenue impact and the returns. And we also need to look at the solutions for customers, product development, and we always need to check with the corporations and whether or not we are responding to their needs and direction. We have to optimize the budget and time. Don't use too much time because the cost will increase. And you also have to optimize the budget. You also need to manage the expectations. What do they expect? And you also need to discuss the next round of investments. What are the various criteria that we need to achieve so that we know where to go? And we also need to look into synergies, because corporations, when they invest in Thailand, they hope for synergy. And last of all, I am a representative of a startup that works with corporations, and I would like to give encouragement to startups. You can dream big and stay humble. When you deal with corporates, I believe that if you work hard, if you are humble, if you dream big, you will become successful. Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause once more to Kun Pathom Pong from Despax. We have heard of interesting ideas about the shortcut in creating innovation and working with big corporations so that we can become successful in the journey towards a startup or SME. And in a minute, we will begin the next session from the fourth batch of Space F, and today we will discuss food tech. Those who are interested in this industry can move forward to the main stage, in front of the main stage, so we can hear about this interesting topic, and we will discuss the startups of the 8 accelerator tracks from the fourth batch of Space F. So those who are interested and those who have already registered can move forward to the front of the main stage. The next session will be conducted in English, so for those who need an interpretation headset, can pick up the device beside the main stage.
Exhibitors and visitors, welcome once again right here on the main stage. And upcoming next sequence, we are going to have the session from Space F Batch 4 in the program that are going to present the Global Food Tech Startup Incubator and Accelerator in Thailand. And here today is the demo day. you are going to experience the incredible idea from 8 food tech startups are going to present their innovative products and ideas up here on this main stage. And once again, that I would like to invite all of our lovely guests, visitors, exhibitors who would like to come to join. You are free, and please be invited. Like the registration counter is just right next to the stage. Please feel free to make your way right over there. And in a minute, we are going to start our next session. เดี๋ยวตอนนี้นะคะสำหรับในเซสชันถัด
We are currently preparing for the next session, and in each session, for the last day of the event, I believe that several of you might have already visited the various zones in the SITE2023 event, so you might have already learned about many interesting ideas. And there's also innovative products or innovative activities within the ballroom 1 to 4 rooms, as well as in front of the foyer. And there are many activities, so I would like to invite all of you to participate in all activities. Towards the end of the day, we also have a session for the closing remarks. I'd also like to invite you to stay until the end. And there's also a networking session so that you can expand your opportunities, your business opportunities, and talk to business operators and investors in the event for the biggest startup event in the region under the theme Innovation Partnership. Together we grow. So let's give time for the team to prepare. And I'd like to talk a bit about the various activities within the event, as I have already mentioned, in order to create an innovation partnership to drive forward Thailand in becoming an innovation nation. We have a partnership between many sectors within the event, whether it's the public, private sectors, educational institutions, and civil society organizations, so we can prepare for the changes in the future. Therefore, we need to prepare entrepreneurs to accelerate the startups and innovation businesses in the Thai innovation ecosystem. So for the last session of today, I think we will have a bigger audience, and we will move forward with the next session. There's still more room, there are still more seats in front of the main stage. So please be seated in front of the main stage.
To remind for all of our visitors, exhibitors, and all the innovators, right here at SITE 2023 Startup Innovation Thailand Expo 2023. After a few years that we have seen online on this screen, but now on site, face-to-face event that we gather all exhibitors and innovators from all around Thailand and the region for the greatest innovation exhibition and startup networking event right here in Thailand. So this year we come up with the theme of innovation partnership, Together We Grow, that we would like to create innovation partnership that will drive Thailand to become innovation-based nation, to strengthen the innovators and the startups in the region. and also for SITE platform for all entrepreneurs, investors, like innovators, both from government and also the private sectors, to steer Thailand towards a vital cooperation between four factors to prepare for the growth of innovation-based businesses and startups. Okay, so right now, as I just mentioned earlier, we are very ready for the next session. Are you ready? Yes, of course. That I would like to introduce to you the next session, Space F Batch 4, the program that we are going to present to you, the Global Food Tech Startup Incubator Accelerator in Thailand. เดี๋ยวตอนนี้นะคะเราจะมาเข้าสู่ช่วงของ
So this is the next session under the Space F Batch 4. This is the demo day of the 8 startups, and they will introduce interesting innovation for food tech.
Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, Mahidol University, Thai Beverage Public Company Limited, Deloitte Thailand, Lotte Phi Chemical, and distinguished guests. Good afternoon and welcome to the SpaceF Batch 4 Accelerator Demo Day. My name is Panisa M. Ocha, and I am delighted to be your MC for this highly anticipated event. Today, we gather here to witness the future of Thailand food industry, to celebrate the combinations of hard work, creativity, and sheer brilliance of our 8 SpaceF Batch 4 Accelerator startups, who will be taking over this very main stage and showcasing their brilliant idea and projects. SpaceF is the first global food tech startup incubator and accelerator in Thailand that bring together the leading food tech startup within 9 key themes, as well as corporate through an innovative mentorship, business connection, and co-working program. This program is established through the collaborations of program partner. We have National Innovation Agency, we have Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, Mahidol University, Thai Beverage Public Company Limited, Deloitte Thailand, and Lotte Phi Chemical. Thanks to their unwavering support, we have had 3 successful batches, and today this is the batch number 4. I am certain that you all are very excited to hear more about program partner on their involvement and aspiration for SpaceF program batch number 4. Without further ado, it is my honor to invite our program partner representative to give us an opening speech. First of all, please welcome Dr. Pan-Aat Chayaratana, Executive Director of the National Innovation Agency, on the stage. Please welcome.
Dr. ธัญวัฒน์เกษมสุวรรณ Global Innovation Director นะคะทางไทยบริษัทนะไทยยูเนียนกรุ๊ปคุณต้องใจธนชนันท์รวมถึงท่านรองประธาน
and Strategies Thai Beverage Public Company Limited Professor บรรจงมหาสวริยะ President of Mahidol University Mr. Jeff Lee Team Leader Food and Pharma Development Research and Development Lotte Fines Chemical Executive from Thai Union Thai Beverage Deloitte Thailand and Lotte distinguished guests startup founder ladies and gentlemen welcome to you all the SpaceF Batch 4 Accelerators Demo Day an event of great significance we are honored to host this event during the prestigious Startup and Innovation Thailand Expo or SITE, which stands as one of the largest startup and innovation expo in Thailand and beyond in the region. Thailand has emerged as a magnet for startups worldwide with numerous advantages that attract entrepreneurs. Its strategic location positions Thailand as a gateway to 650 million consumers in the region. Additionally, the country offers a high quality of life, affordable cost of living, favorable business environment, and a multitude of well-connected startup scenes among the region. In 2023, the Thai startup ecosystem has made substantial strides, currently ranking 52 globally, 11 in Asia Pacific, and 4th in ASEAN in the Global Startup Ecosystem Index. Particularly this year, Bangkok, as the capital city of Thailand, has witnessed remarkable progress, ascending 25 places to reach the 74th spot globally and securing the 3rd position in ASEAN as one of the top cities for the startup ecosystem. Within the thriving landscape, SpaceF is evolving to become a formidable platform that empowers food tech startups, foster ecosystem-wide collaboration, and position Thailand as a regional food tech hub. Our acceleration program boasts an impressive portfolio of 65 local and international food tech startups that have collectively raised a total of $63 million. We take immense pride in our expanding partnership with leading organizations in the region food tech ecosystem, including Thai Union Groups, PCL, Thai Beverage, Mahidol University, and Deloitte Thailand. This collaboration enables us to drive innovation and create a supportive environment for startups to thrive. Today, we have the pleasure of showcasing the remarkable achievements of a startup from our Batch 4 Accelerator program. They will demonstrate how their cutting-edge technologies and addressing urgent real-world problems and reshaping the futures of food industries. We stand at the forefront of a new era where entrepreneurship, innovation, and collaboration converge to transform our world. The achievements of these startups are a testament to the limitless potential that lies within the food tech sector. I extend my deepest gratitude to all of the participants, partners, and guests present here today. Your support and enthusiasm play a pivotal role in propelling the growth of the food tech ecosystem. Together, let us witness the transformative power of technology and forge a future where innovation nourish both our bodies and our planet. Thank you very much and enjoy the enlightening journeys that await us. ขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ Thank you so much Dr. Panat for emphasizing how Thailand is more than ready not only as a regional hub but as a world hub for food tech and also for all the startup here. We hope that we can host you all and hope that today will mark a beginning of Thailand as a well-known place for all the startup, not only particularly for food tech, but any technology, we are welcome. So we have listened to our governmental body, and now with the collaborative and ecosystems, you can not only have governmental body, but we need to have a partnership with the private sector as well. We have our two distinguished private sector who are partner of us. And first, I would like to welcome Dr. Thanyawat Kasem Suwan, Group Director, Global Innovation, Thai Union Group Public Company Limited. Please welcome.
Good afternoon. Dr. Panat Chairat, Executive Director of the National Innovation Agency. คุณต้องใจธนชานันท์ Executive Vice President of Chief Sustainability and Strategy of Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. ศาสตราจารย์นายแพทย์บรรจงมหัยวริยะ President and University of Mahidol. Okay. Jeff Lee, Director of R&D, Lotte Fine Chemical, Member Media and distinguished guests today. On behalf of the organizer and the partner of SpaceF, I would like to thank you for joining us today for SpaceF Batch 4 a demo day. We could not have asked for better to showcase our achievement of the startup who have been made over the past only few months with us. Okay, and I think this is interesting enough for me. I didn't realize that this is a 4 year have passed already. And it started from Dr. Panat and I talking about how to build this collaborative food tech ecosystem in Thailand. Okay, and we want to support the innovative growth of the startup and continue to make support of alumni. We do believe that this is an ecosystem that's quite unique in the region and I think in the world as well. And it's past the 4 years, and now we have passed 47 startups who have been complete these programs. And then we are also preparing them for a next stage, including all the alumni that's still with us. And believe it or not, that all of that have been raised over $63 million up to date. Okay, that's something we're very proud about that. We want to continue to strengthen the partnerships in these programs, and I think by providing more opportunity for the startup, and now we invited more partners of multinational companies such as Lotte, who recently joined us. I think that's something you will hear more from them. It's very proud that they'll join us. We also have accelerator program, one of the international base of Singapore is the Innovate 360, and they also have recently joined us. That's something allow us to be extending more international. With our network, the alumni and the startup who is in the program be able to gain more access to more investor and also opportunity to grow more globally. SpaceF will continue to evolve. I think interesting enough this year, we want to make it more strengthening in the partnering with corporate. So we hand selected those startups and we also want to have a proof of concept with corporate. So a lot of our corporations who have been partnering be able to allow to work in the proof of concept. And a lot of that as will continue even the program complete. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind that startup we're pitching today will be playing a significant role in growing sustainable and collaborative food supply chain in the future. And this is not only for Thailand, and it's going to be to the world. And I would like to invite you as a partner of SpaceF to join us to listen to this vibrant food tech ecosystem startup that we would like to hear more than pitching. And today, and interesting enough that in the next few weeks, we start to announcing for the partner of batch 5, okay? Again, I'm getting old and realize that it's gaining to the 5th year. And very exciting to see this is the future of the startup, and hopefully you all enjoy it today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thanyawat. As he briefly mentions, we're going to have the batch number 5 and many more batches to come. We also have another talk for this opening session from another important private collaborations with us. Please join me in welcoming Kun Tongchai Thanachanan, Executive Vice President and Chief Sustainability and Strategy from Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. Please welcome.
A very good afternoon to SpaceF supporters, distinguished guests, and SpaceF startup teams. I am delighted to be here today to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the 8 startup teams who have successfully completed the SpaceF Batch 4 Accelerator Program. It is truly a pleasure to witness your passion, your effort, and your growth throughout the course of this program. We sincerely hope that the resources, advices, and network provided by SpaceF will empower all of you to enhance your offering, broaden your horizon, and bring you closer to your goals. I must say that I am thrilled to see the diversity of the startup teams in this batch. With representatives from 7 different countries, spanning across a wide spectrum of food and beverage sectors, including alternative protein, precision fermentation, food safety, and novel ingredients. This group showcases the remarkable breadth of our global talent. You have given us the confidence that SpaceF will emerge as a prominent innovation platform to propel Thailand to become a global hub for food and beverage innovation. ThaiBev is proud to be part of SpaceF program throughout the past 3 years, with our mission in creating and sharing the value of growth. We see SpaceF as an important platform to push forward the global sustainability agenda, including health and well-being, food security, sustainable supply chain, as well as climate action. We sincerely believe that food-related technology and innovation can play a very strong role in driving changes towards more responsible and sustainable production and consumption, building an ecosystem that is both socially and environmentally viable. So, to all the participating startup teams, I extend my best wishes for your journey. May you continue to thrive, innovate, and contribute to the advancement of our food and beverage industry, as well as our global sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kun Tongchai, and all please join me in a big round of applause for all our program partners' speeches. Coming up next, we have the lineup of 8 food tech startups that's going to be on this main stage and pitching that brilliant idea for you all. You may refer to our Demo Day program booklet that you guys should have. In that booklet, we have the information, the brief information of each of the wonderful startup pitchers today. So in the booklets, as you can see on the screen and on your booklets as well, we have the QR code on the right circle there that you guys can scan. And if you want to schedule a meeting with our wonderful startup, you guys can do that as well. You can book a meeting, and also if you have any questions, please feel free to drop in any questions for them, and they will reply to you. And if you have any problem, please refer to our SPEDF staff. We can help you with any inquiry. All right. Before we get into pitching sessions, SPEDF Program Batch for Accelerator Demo Day is highly honored to have 3 distinguished guests to join us as commentators for each of the startup pitching. Please join me in welcoming first Dr. Latlatna Thiranusornkit, Program Director from the Thailand Management Association. Secondly, Dr. Dylan Kiota, Chief Investment Officer from A2D Ventures. And last but not least, Mr. Sean Mark, Chief Operating Officer from Innovate 360. For our upcoming pitching session, each startup will get 5 minutes to pitch. We will then have another follow-up 7 minutes for our commentators to ask them any questions or provide them any thought. So that's the mechanics of today pitching. Now we all understand the mechanic of it. The moment you all have been waiting for is here. Let's get the pitching sessions ready. Are you guys ready? Oh no, this is not ready. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay, I hear a little bit of more sound. I need more sound. Are you guys ready? The pitcher, you need to be more energized, okay? Okay, so the first startup today was founded in the United States by 2 Taiwanese natives. They create innovative fat technology that elevate and alternate food with luscious texture and delightful mouthfeel. Please welcome to the stage Zhen Yu Huang, CEO and co-founder of Lipid.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yu. I'm the co-founder of Lipid. And Lipid is working on fat alternative to bring alternative food to the next level. At 40%, it's actually fat in the meat products. And a lot of current companies working on alternative food only work on protein. But a lot of people forget there are a lot of other ingredients which is really critical, like fat, that brings the mouthfeel, the flavor, and that's why meat tastes so great. And we also believe fat is the key enabler to bring alternative meat market to the next level, to grow from 2% of traditional meat market to 10% in the next 5 years. And our technology is working with encapsulation. So we use a very different approach that we use plant oils, liquid oils, but with our encapsulation technology, we can make it perform like animal fat analog in terms of texture, melting points, and also better nutritional profile. And we are honored to win the Best Ingredient Innovation Awards in UK earlier this year with our PhytoFat. So with our PhytoFat, we can actually create and enable a lot of different product types on the market, like plant-based pork belly. That's a recent launch in US and Taiwan. So you can see that we couldn't make a great braised pork belly or bacon before without a fat technology. But with our PhytoFat, we make it happen. And at the same time, I want to mention it's really critical that it's better in nutritional profile, not only more sustainable, but also healthier. So this is some examples that we launched in the Marriott Marcus in San Francisco. We also did another launch on plant-based patties with our PhytoFat with the largest coffee chain store in Taiwan called Louisa Coffee. So our product is in more than 500 stores in Taiwan for more than a year. And why we are here? Because we know fat is more than meat. We can do more, like baking, like seafood. So we are really honored to be in Thailand because we all know Thailand is already the center of like food processing. So if we can leverage this to do with new technology together, we think we can bring a lot of new products from here to the globally. So we are in the Space F program working with Thai Union that we work on a totally new product that we have never worked on before. It's a tuna spread. So we work on creamy tuna spread because we know Thailand has the largest exportation of canned tuna in the world right now. And also it's a very popular product type in Europe and US. And the key things over here is that it's actually more proteins than traditional tuna salad and also better saturated fat composition in the nutritional label. And our team is founded by me and Michelle. We are PhD students. We met at Cornell when we were PhD student over there. And we have raised over $7 million in the past 2 years from global investors, including US SOSV IndieBio, in Europe like Green Generation Fund, and Asia like Big Idea Venture and Full Venture. And lastly, I want to share another thing. It's like we also got invited to COP27 last year at Egypt. And we are honored over there to share how fat can actually translate the whole food system. Because fat is really key for a lot of different applications, not only meat, baking, seafood, even pet food. That's another application we find recently. Yeah, so it's great to be here, and we actually have a booth over there. So if you got interested in the tuna spread, it's a prototype that we just worked on for the past 3 months. But we believe it's a beginning of the seafood exploration that fat can actually opens up a lot of different product types in seafood, not only tuna spread, but also like fish fillet, sashimi, a lot of different seafood, only fat in it. So we are very excited about this opportunity to be here with Thai Union and to explore, starting the relationship to explore a new sector for us as well. So we used to just work on meat, but we are really glad that we are here, that we can start to explore seafood and see what could happen in the next few months. And that's what we have today, so I'm happy to take questions. Thanks.
Okay, so Jen Yu, thank you for your pitch, and congratulations for innovating on the most important component of alternative proteins. So as you know, in innovation, there's new S-curves all the time, right? So you're making plant-based fat, but as you know, there are cell-based fat as well. So what is your competitive advantage, and what plan do you have to work in order to compete with cell-based fat? Because there's a lot of flexitarians. You said yourself that 42% of the consumers are flexitarians.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Lorana, for this question. So first, we are actually not competing with other biology like fermented or cell culture fat companies, because what they are going to address is kind of like different from what we are working on. So we work with physics, encapsulation, that we focus a lot on texture and better nutritional profile. But for those cell culture fat or fermented fats, they usually have the same like nutritional profile with saturated fat. So what they are working on is a little bit on flavor. That's why basically a lot of other folks and we are actually working with a lot of them to trying to see how our texturizing technology can help those fat be structured into like an animal adipose tissue. Yeah, so that's a very key difference. And the other thing is, since we are using physics but not biology, we can actually move into the market at a faster speed. That's why we brought our technology from lab to the commercial available level in just less than like 1.5 years. And we also set up a tens of tons production line in Taiwan last year. So I think that's another key advantage, that the cost structure and the commercialization path will be very different from other folks in the field.
Wow, really awesome stuff that you're doing, actually. I'm really excited about your alternative fat. I think that's one of my favorite things about, let's say, how do you say it, alternative foods, right? I guess my main question is, how are you going to go to market? Because you're going in as your own brand, and already it's quite a red ocean in America or in the US. Are you going to rely on restaurants, or are you going to rely on modern trade?
That's also a very great question. So we focus on two different business partners. The first one is definitely restaurant chain stores. And we provide a full solution to them, like a semi-finished product for them to prepare. And the other one is actually we love to work with a big food company because we are really good at doing food technology innovation and product development, but we need some resource in distribution, in scale up production, and also penetration to different regions and markets. So that's two different business models that we have worked on, like directly with food service chains, and the other one is actually working with big companies, food companies. Like this can be a really great opportunity for us to explore the relationship with like Thai Union. That's also what we are very interested and excited about.
Hi, Janyu. Yeah, nice to see you in Thailand again. All right. In adding to the question earlier, I'm just thinking like you dabble into so many different lines at this point in time, or product lines at this point in time. Where is your focus? That's one. Number two is like, what is kind of like the pricing pressure that you're finding from your competitors? You know, I'd like to know more about, this part of the your business.
I'm also glad to be here for several times in Thailand because of SpaceF program. And that's a very good question because eventually, no matter what kind of technology it is, it's still food. So we have to compete or consider how our cost structure can be compatible with traditional food products. And that's one of the reasons why we think Thailand can be a really great place for us to scale up our technology. Because over here, there are already a lot of like manufacturing capacity here that we can potentially leverage. And to be honest, if we are competing with other food tech companies, our cost structure is already a lot better. Like we are 5 times to 10 times better than cell culture fat or fermented fat. So our goal is not competing with other peers in the field. Actually, we are directly competing with a lot of commodity products or ingredients on the market. So that's the pricing that we set our target about. And we are already on the path that you can see that in the Taiwan, like the largest coffee chain store, when they use our ingredient, you can know that it's affordable to them. And they are selling the burger patties at around $2, which is not too crazy.
Maybe we can have one wrap up. Maybe the thought about our first startup pitchings.
Okay, so I just want to wrap up by saying that I've had an opportunity to taste your pork belly, and I think it's really great. It tastes just exactly like the real stuff. And I tasted the tuna spread and also the crab spread as well. So I think, with the pork belly, I think the standard is up there. But with the spreads, I think with the fat in the spreads, I think you need to make the texture a little bit, more rounded by the use of your fat. And how do you think you can do that?
I think that's why we are here in the SpaceF program, because we are basically exploring a very different sector. And the fat we use in this current prototype is based on the pork belly fat that we use in the meat industry. And over here, we learned a lot, like, for example, our encapsulation technology can protect the flavor really well. And we are looking forward to see how we can protect the tuna flavors or crab flavor or even lobster flavor to bring the tuna spread to the next level. So the first prototype over here is basically a proof of concept. That's why I say I really look forward to keep doing more iterations on R&D and maturing the whole technology for the seafood sector. I think in the end it will be quite different than the fat we use in pork belly or in the meat sector. But that's the fun part because it's a great foundation that a lot of opportunity we can explore.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, the
Thanks.
commentator. I think we all agree that it's not only me who looking forward to consume some good products from Zhenyu. Up next, we have on the stage a startup that revolutionized disease management in agriculture and aquaculture through cutting-edge biotechnology solution from Singapore. Please welcome Lishita Shongidi, CEO and co-founder of Theora.
Have you eaten or do you plan to eat today? Please raise your hands. So this is for you. I am Rishita, founder at Theora, and our goal is to revolutionize food production for all of us. Did you know that we already produce enough food for 10 billion people? But most of it is just lost to pest or disease or other reasons. This is worse when it comes to aquaculture because losses can be as high as 80%. The solutions are antibiotics and pesticides, which are a sledgehammer approach and increase the risk of diseases in humans. This is, of course, undesirable. That's why we want to reduce and replace these chemicals with clean, natural, and sustainable solutions. Our very first target market is aquaculture. It is the healthiest animal protein and the least wasteful one. It is the fastest growing industry in all of food production, set to feed a third of the world's population by the end of this decade. Yet, it is ridden with diseases. This is state-of-the-art of disease management in aquaculture, where every single fish is removed from the water and individually injected with vaccines, similar to how you and I were injected during COVID. This is stressful for the animals, but mandatory in the salmon industry and has led to reduced losses and reduced use of antibiotics. But if you think of shrimp, can you imagine injecting a teeny tiny shrimp? That's not possible. This almost $50 billion industry has no good solutions for disease management today. That's where vaccines would definitely be a great option. However, the vaccine technology today has some problems. It is primarily for bacterial diseases. It increases the risk of infection because it's whole inactivated bacteria. It is difficult to produce viruses. In many cases, specialized cell lines are required. And because it's injection-based, it cannot be scaled very easily. So today, only 1% of the fish are vaccinated. So we had to go back to the drawing board and reimagine these solutions. We took learnings from human pharmaceuticals, and we are bringing them to aquaculture and agriculture. So our SOLAC platform relies on 3 main pillars. The first one is a bioinformatic platform, which allows us to design small subunit vaccines, which can be easily produced using fermentation technologies in completely food-safe microorganisms. And our solutions are delivered through food. So food becomes a vaccine instead of injection. This is patent pending, and we have 3 provisional patents filed. And with the Theora AquaGuard series, we bring 2 solutions simultaneously to the farmers. One is a subunit vaccine, which improves the natural immunity, and we combine this with a biologic, which is an antiviral or an antipathogen, which can directly attack the animals. This is definitely combined with oral delivery, which is the holy grail of aquaculture. Our very first solution, Shrimp Guard, has been validated in clinical studies, where we see that in controls which have less than 2% survival, with our solutions, this can go up to 90%. This is what makes the farm go from loss-making to profit-making. Don't take our word for it. Our experimental data shows here that our solutions with our biologics, even containing virus, have very similar survival to the no-virus solutions. That's why the solutions are in high demand from the industry. At SpaceF here, we are testing not only our shrimp solutions for WSSV and EHP, but also our solutions for fish, which can be used as oral vaccination. And this is done with definitely Thai Union, Feed Mill, Mahidol University, AIT, and Biotech. These solutions are highly commercially feasible. Our first solution for shrimp is incorporated in the food in the exactly same way that farms incorporate other additives such as probiotics. It is very easy to produce and scale, and we have already produced more than 300 kilos per week, which is enough to protect 200 tons of shrimp. This is definitely low cost to the farmers. Just for a cost increase of less than 3%, they can reduce their risk by 90%. So with our AquaGuard series, we go from less than 1% vaccination to now making more than 80% vaccination possible. That is what happened during COVID, and that is why we are able to be in this room today. With our Solac,
Okay, so thank you. So let me ask, for your product, do the shrimps have to be fed daily with your product, or how often?
Maybe with the mic. Okay, please.
So that's a great question. Thank you. So in the beginning, we feed them continuously for 5 days, and after that, they are fed once a week.
And that would be sufficient to protect them, right? So
Yes.
first 5 days and then once a week, forever, or?
Yeah, so basically shrimp culture can last between 90 days and 120 days. And this treatment we recommend to do during the entire cycle.
Thank you.
So are you planning to go to market yourself as your own brand, or are you looking to license your technology to other people?
So that's a great question. We can do three things. One is we can directly sell the product ourselves. The way we do that is either directly sell to large farmers, or we go through distributors and partners that sell technology to the farmers. And the third is, of course, we can backward integrate with Thai Union feed mill to bring it to the farmers.
But let's say, I saw in your slide it was September that you're aiming to go to market. So which one are you going to start with first?
The large farms. So we have farm demonstrations ongoing, and with the larger farms, we'll be able to sell directly to the farms as step one.
And has the feedback been good in terms of wanting to use your product as well, or how hard is it to convince them to use your product?
So this is a great question. The feedback is reverse in the sense that the problem is so large that even before we had a solution, when we were talking to farmers, they would say that, I have 10 ponds, here are 2 ponds, when can you start the trials? Because currently the solution that we have, the first disease, which is WSSV, it does not, it kills the entire pond in less than 4 days once it's detected. So there is no solution available in the market. And this means that, let's say if it strikes at 45 or 50 days of culture, the farmer can't sell that produce, and it's basically all the money put in until that stage is completely lost. So they're really looking for a solution to prevent these problems.
Hi, Rashida. Can I just ask this? How do you defend your IP and also your competition or your competitive advantages? Yeah.
So that's a great question. So there are two parts to it. One is how do we defend our IP? One part is by filing patents. And second is what is the competitive advantage, right? So the competitive advantage we have is both the bioinformatic platform. So we design multi-epitope antigens, which are, because those are then patentable by themselves. The second most important one is that we bring oral solutions to the market. So there are maybe a couple of startups trying to do that in the shrimp space, but there is no solution in the Asian markets today. And so that's where we can come in and say that this is the first solution available. If we look at fish, the main mode of vaccination is by injection. All of them are looking to be able to provide oral boosters to these animals while they're at sea. So if you think about injection vaccination, it can only be done when the fish is a certain size, like let's say 30 grams or something. Because when the fish becomes, let's say 1 kilo, let's take the example of salmon, if it becomes 1 kilo, it's impossible to remove it out of the water and give a booster vaccination. The salmon is grown to be 6 kilos in the water. So at that point, the losses that the farmers are facing even after vaccination are very high. So they want to have a way to give oral boosters during the growth of these animals and be able to protect the losses that they have during this process. So with the current vaccines being injectable, we basically add on a component of oral boosters, and that's where we bring another advantage for ourselves.
Okay, maybe I'll just add on just one more question. Maybe it's that you missed out some of your slides. I'd like to know about also, what's your scale-up plan, and also what kind of revenue are we looking at? From the BC perspective, if we are investing in you, we want to know some numbers as well. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great point. So we have currently, so there are two aspects. I'll talk about scale up first. So we've currently scaled up to more than 200 kgs per week. And this capacity can be increased because we work with the free capacity available with contract manufacturing. And my colleague and friend, Dr. Gajendra here, is looking into that. Beyond that, you're asking about the numbers. Our projected revenues for 2024-25 are $7 million. This is the idea. The path to that is essentially that we already have more than 13 partners lined up to do farm demonstrations, which are happening this year. They will convert into revenue-paying people next year. And this first disease is already, it accounts for more than 30% of the losses in all of ASEAN and India. Beyond this, we have other, we are basically trying to combine the top 3 shrimp diseases in one solution and bringing it to market as a more holistic solution, which will be ready next year. Beyond that, we already have contracts from, not contracts, we are working with governments in the salmon world to bring this to market. And as of a couple of weeks ago, we won a huge grant from Temasek Foundation in Singapore to bring solutions for sea bass to market.
So what's the bottom line? As in, what's your margin?
Yes, 80%. We as we scale up, we can reach pharma margins. And because we don't require any cold chain in the supply chain, we can actually reach the most remote farms in ASEAN and in India, in basically hot and humid climates. So the market reach can be quite high. And the way we do that is through our distributor channels, which control different percent of different markets. But some of them have almost 80% market penetration already.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rachita. And that is from Tiora.
Thank you.
For third pitching today, we have a team that is working to combine biotechnology and AI to transform byproducts of the agri-food industry into high-value ingredients. Please join me in welcome from Spain's Bosco Esperanza, CEO and founder of MOA.
Hello, everyone. Today's food industry is the most contaminating industry. It causes 30% of global GHG emissions. And did you know that 70% of the carbon footprint of food producers comes from the ingredients that they are using? So if we really want to build a sustainable industry, we should be thinking in sustainable and scalable ingredients. And that's why we have built a B2B sustainable ingredient platform. MOA combines biotechnology and artificial intelligence to transform byproducts from the food industry into high-value ingredients that we introduce again in the industry and in the society. Currently, we are working with 20 different byproducts from the industry, coming from the breweries, for example, with type ThaiBev, that's the reason we are here today, but we are also working with Barilla, for example, or byproducts from the sugar industry. And we combine that with our microbes library. We have over 300 microbes in our library. And thanks to this, we are able to produce sustainable ingredients. These are the two first ingredients that we have developed. And the best thing of these ingredients is that they have a high nutritional profile. They are functional. For example, those pictures that you see in the right, the gel has only 7% of our ingredient and the rest is water. So we can create strong gels and strong emulsions with it. They are tasty and sustainable. And also one of the best things is that we are okay to use these ingredients in the European market, US and Singapore right now. And it's labeled as yeast. And thanks to all that, we are able to apply these ingredients into meat analogs, fish analogs, bakery snacks, or even pet food. Those pictures that you can see there are prototypes of our partnership with Purina and Nestlé. And we are currently working with 17 pilot projects, and we have 11 LOIs to purchase our ingredients. And the truth is that we have over 100 companies that are willing to work with us. And just as an example of the value that we are adding to these applications, right now the meat analog space, they have some challenges, and some of them are the sensorial experience, the low nutritional profile, or the clean label. Thanks to adding small quantities of our ingredient, we are able to improve the sensorial experience. As you can see in the graphic there, we are able to decrease the off notes of plant-based and increase the umami taste of those products. We can improve the nutritional profile, and at the end of the day, we are only yeast, and we are replacing other ingredients, so we are also impacting in clean label. The moment is now. The protein alternative market is expected to grow exponentially in the coming years. And our business model is to design, produce, and commercialize these ingredients. But thanks to our platform, we are able to reduce up to 90% the time and the resources of a development of a new ingredient through fermentation. And thanks to this, we are currently working with key ingredient companies worldwide to license our technology to them so they can produce the ingredients. We are currently working with a lot of industries and a lot of partners all around the world in both sides of the chain. At the beginning, in the byproducts valorization with companies like Barilla, AB Sugar, or ThaiBev here in Thailand, and at the end of the chain with Nestlé in Carlopsa, Sigma in Mexico, for example. With ThaiBev, we are currently working in valorized ThaiBev byproducts and using them as a feedstock for our fermentation process. But we are also working in how can we introduce these ingredients into ThaiBev applications. We are doing this, and we are accelerating this thanks to our great team. We are 10 people in the team. We have experts in the fermentation space, food applications, and of course, AI. We are a young company. We were created at the beginning of 2021. We fundraised that year 1.5 million euros in our seed round. Early this year, we were able to fundraise another 1.5 million in grants in Europe. And right now we are fundraising. We are looking for 3 million to finance our go-to-market strategy, the scale-up, and the R&D. Thank you, and let's build a better world together.
Thank you. Maybe we start with this.
Hi, Bosco. Hi. Just one question. Curious to know that, as we know that CDMOs are expensive, right? So what's your plan to scale and go to market?
Great question. I would say that that's the biggest bottleneck of the fermentation space right now. We have partnered some key players. These guys are coming from one of the biggest fermentation facility in Europe. It's called ATL. And we are working with them we have created a plan to produce the ingredient with a new facility that we are working on. So, and it's not just one facility. We have a plan of expansion. And that's how we are going to produce in the medium and long term. Right now, we have also other partnerships to produce the ingredient in a smaller scale and to validate the ingredient this year and next year in the market.
But in terms of cost, will this be price, parity, and can you manage that?
Great question. So we are, it's a term of a scale. So right now we are in a 10,000 liters bioreactor, and we are planning to reach in 2025 a 100 cubic meters bioreactor. And with that scale, we are going to be able to have a price of, well, close to soy or close to pea protein in the market. So right now we are going to launch the ingredient in the market with a price of 22 euros per kilogram, but in 2025 we will be under 10 euros.
Okay, so I like the concept of circular economy, so that's really good. But I just want to know how you control the quality of your food waste and also the availability of the byproducts and food waste as well.
Great question. So we currently have two agreements with two big suppliers. One is AB Sugar, which is one of the biggest supplier of molasses in Europe. And we also have a partnership with Barilla, the pasta company. They are the biggest pasta company worldwide, and we have, they are giving us their byproducts. But the truth is that those kind of byproducts may vary in terms of characteristics from, imagine, September to January. So thanks to our AI platform, we are able to adjust in that moment the culture media characteristics. So we are able to adjust the nutrients of our microbes that comes from the byproducts that we are using in a really simple and efficient way. But imagine that, for example, right now in Europe, because of the war, we are getting problems in the supply chain. And we were thinking, okay, what if we stop receiving, like, for example, a specific byproduct that we were using? Right now, thanks to our platform, we are able to change and to substitute some byproducts that we are using. So at the end is the platform that we have built. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Bosco. So, I mean, I was just wondering, so your product is made for human consumption, am I correct? How are you, I mean, there's a limited supply of, let's say, byproducts and waste, right? But inside, your customers who are purchasing your product to make it into plant-based food, how are they going to market this product, right? Because when I buy, let's say, for instance, I buy plant-based meat or whatever, they're made out of peas, they're made out of mushrooms, or they're made out of soy. So how are they going to be like, oh, but this is made out of byproduct or made out of waste? So how are they going to market this new, let's say, plant-based meat?
Great question. So at the end, our ingredient is only yeast. So in terms of label, it's simple, and the industry is already used to have yeast in most of the products that, for example, in the meat analog space. But the thing is that we want to go one step further, and actually we are having these kind of conversations with some of our clients. They are asking how can we introduce this in the packaging, like we are using the next generation proteins, and we want to talk about this. They are coming from valorization. They are more sustainable. And we have no idea. This is something that we are currently discussing with the industry, because they have doubts of how we are going to communicate this, because they want to. At the beginning, we thought, okay, at the end of the day, we want to have a clean label ingredient that they are used to use, but now we have realized that they want to go further and to explain this to the customers, and that's why we are having those kind of conversations.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
No more comment from the commentator. So thank you so much, Bosco.
Thank you.
We're looking forward for your product.
Thank you.
For the first startup of today, this startup is developing high impact and high value functional ingredients from microalgae extracts. They are one of the two startups from Israel representing alga health. Please welcome the CEO, Iran Ishkovich. Please welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. And I'm going to talk about the ingredients from microalgae today. And I'm going to start with something that's not very nice, but it's something we have to talk about obesity and overweight. You know that about 60% of the adult population is either overweight and obese. But did you also know that it costs about $300 billion a year to treat, and that For example, university students are 13% less likely to succeed if they're overweight, and it can even make your life 4 years shorter. The problem is that most of the solutions today are consisting of expensive supplements that you have to go to the pharmacy or to other stores to buy. Now, we want to add these ingredients to food products. By the way, don't worry, the Illuminati is only a minor shareholder. But we want to solve the problem of food companies that are quality, quantity, and price. Food companies are very sensitive to the margins and the price. They want high quality and high quantity. And we're doing that with our microalgae by developing special strains that induce high concentrations of ingredients. For example, our first product is already 250 times more concentrated than the current source. And of course, it's all produced with the highest, with the highest food standards, so we can meet the requirements of the food industry. Now, the first product that we're working on, which is also the proof of concept of our platform, is based on a carotenoid called fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin is a carotenoid that breaks down the adipose tissue, so it helps prevent issues from the metabolic syndrome like type 2 diabetes, like obesity and overweight, of course, high cholesterol, cardiovascular issues, and so on. But the opportunity is the fucoxanthin is very limited in supply today because it's produced mostly from seaweed, and the market price is really high. It's about between $40,000 and $80,000 per pure kilo. We've also done an efficacy test on our microalgae fucoxanthin product, and we've shown that it can reduce, for example, blood sugar levels almost 50% faster than current solutions on the market, including food supplements and prescription drugs. And for SpaceF, we've started a collaboration with Thai Union on creating a product that is rich in fucoxanthin based on Thai Union's technology. And we've done a very interesting market study that showed that the food supplement and protein market in Thailand is very diverse and is full of products. But most of the products are rich in protein, not very effective. But we did learn that there is a very interesting market segment, especially for female customers. Female customers are less concerned with protein, but more concerned with high ingredient content. But we've learned that they are concerned, for example, about weight control and keeping their diet. They don't think that protein equals weight loss. It usually is not. And they want more science-based products and more plant-based products. And these are issues that fucoxanthin can solve directly. Also with Thai Union, we can work on better taste and texture of the product. So the next product we're going to develop is based on meal replacement powder, rich in fucoxanthin, based, like I said, on Thai Union's technology. We also have other partnerships in the USA and in Asia. We've also received last year's European Seal of Excellence, last year's Mass Challenge Israel winners, and also, of course, working with the Israeli Innovation Authority. Our team is all seasoned managers and entrepreneurs, and of course, biotechnology experts. And for the next milestone, we're going to launch the first product this year and do clinical trials and launch more products in 24, 25. And by 2026, we hope to build our own production facility so we can commercialize and upscale production for the food production market. So Alga Health is currently raising a seed round of $1.5 million so we can increase the R&D regulatory approval. We're going to submit to the FDA this year, product development, of course, and continue with our patent applications. So I hope you help us put healthy into food with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Iran. Maybe Dylan, we start with you since we end with the investment.
Of course. I think this is like fucoxanthin is like seaweed gold, right? Considering the cost.
Sorry?
Is like seaweed gold considering the cost right now. So I mean, I was reading up on this a little bit. So it's saying that it has very poor bioavailability, meaning your body does not absorb it as well. Is this true, and how are you addressing this problem?
It depends on the source. Because our source is from microalgae and not from seaweed, it's much more concentrated to begin with, and because of the extraction process, it's much more bioavailable than current solutions on the market. You saw it in the efficacy study.
Okay, and then just one more question as well. So because it burns fat, right, in your body, for someone as myself, would I be able to take it and also work out or exercise as well? Because some diets, it's like if you eat fat burners, you can't exercise as well?
No, it's not a fat burner. It accelerates the resting fat burning rate. So it depends on how much fat you are. You're not going to be extra slim because of that. You can keep your diet, you can keep your lifestyle, but it can help you control your adipose tissue, your fat percentage, and your blood sugar levels and things that come from metabolic process.
Yeah. So thank you. So what would be the cost per day to consume this product and lose weight?
Right now, first of all, it's a great question, especially for the food industry. Like I said, they're very sensitive to that. $40,000 per kilo translates to a serving cost of 20 cents today. The reason is that the suggested daily dose is only 5 milligrams of pure fucoxanthin. In our product, it translates to 100 milligrams per serving. So, first of all, there is very little effect on the taste and smell of the product. It means that you can have it in a product and have negligible effect on the taste and smell. And also, the price is currently the 20 cent is a little bit high for the food product. There's no problem, for example, for the supplements industry. But we think that as we advance in our optimization process and in increased quantities, we can even lower that price.
And there's many methods of losing weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can exercise, you can do intermittent fasting. So what is your competitive advantage, and why would consumers choose your method?
If you don't mind, can I go back with the slides? I want to show you something.
Okay, we have the slide coming up.
Yeah, okay. Because I want to answer your question, but I want to show you the slide. Okay, never mind. Okay, this one. Illuminati. Okay, what you see here is the efficacy study that we did in a rat model, and what you can see here is the obese. Sorry, this is the obese test. So the obese control group. What we did here in the treatment is actually we kept the very unhealthy diet. They were tested with high fructose, high fat diet. We did not change the diet, we just added the treatment, and you can see the effect, in this case on the blood sugar, but we can also show the effect on the adipose tissue. That was very significant effect without changing the diet. It translates to people who are eating fast food or keeping not exercising, and still have a very significant effect on their health.
Thank you.
Hi, Ivan. I'm just thinking, right, from perspective, like, you want to encourage healthy living, healthy lifestyle. And if assuming that we continue eating our McDonald's meals every day without side effects, is that going to help? One. Number two is that just looking at, how do you sustain, your competitive advantage over your competitor? Right, if there's any at this point in time.
First, there's two questions. First of all, about the lifestyle, I agree. We should practice more. We should spend less time with our screens. It's all true. The unpleasant truth is that most people won't do that. Most people will still sit at home. They will still keep their diet. But we want to make the people healthy because, like you saw, the cost of treating obesity and overweight is enormous. It's unprecedented. So everything we can do to improve people's lives, improve people's health in something, then it's something that we've done and we've helped someone in the world. And that's my thinking. That's one. For the competitive advantage, first of all, there is no functional ingredients for the food industry today. These are all functional ingredients for the supplements industry. So this is going to be a first time that functional ingredient at this level will be incorporated into actual food products, and as we advance with our technology, because our technology is to induce higher concentrations of the functional ingredient in the microalgae, so we are always one step ahead of the industry. And to be honest, I'm not very afraid of the competition because I would be much more afraid if there was no competition, because then I'd have to ask myself if I'm in the right industry.
Look like our commentator is very satisfied with your answer, Aaron.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. While referring to your Illuminati, I think in the meantime, better health could be the New World Order's agenda. But up next to the next pitching, we have another startup from Israel. Their solution enables sugar refinery to transform into specialty ingredients production site. On stage with us, CEO and founders of Ambrosia Bio, Ziv Swighav. Please welcome.
Sawadee Kap. Sugar overconsumption is literally killing us. Yet the chances that we will be able to convince our client to reduce their sugar level are ranging anywhere between 0 to none. It's not working, the remote. Yeah, this is our clients. So the chances is 0. We all love sugar. And sugar, people do not know that, has so many functions. It's much more than just being sweet. Explain why both natural and artificial sweetener have failed to replace it. Even today, despite numerous attempts, food producers are practically unable to significantly reduce sugar content without negatively impacting the product taste. Allulose is different. Allulose is a rare, naturally occurring sugar that, unlike any other sweetener, provide the bulk, texture, scent, and of course the taste of a sugar, while have a fraction of the caloric burden with virtually no effect on blood glucose or insulin level. The only problem is that rare sugar are prohibitively expensive. Current production method and scale are negligible and are unable to catch up with the growing global market demand. We at Ambrosia Bio are determined to replace the obesity-promoting sugar with a much better-for-you alternative, affordable rare sugar. So during the past 3 years, we have come up and developed our own bioprocess, an end-to-end solution using our own proprietary enzyme. So currently we are at 1,000, So simply put, what we do, okay, we take a low-margin feedstock, for instance, sugar, and we convert that using our own proprietary enzyme to high-value ingredients such as allulose and also dietary fibers. We are currently working in hundreds of kilos of scale. Soon we'll ramp up to a ton scale. And the result demonstrates that our technology is about 1,200 times better than benchmark. So this means that allulose, the ideal sugar replacement, now it's working too well. Allulose, the ideal sugar replacement, is now for the first time available and affordable. So Ambrosia is working to disrupt the 90 billion sweetener market. We are partnering, we are a platform technology. We are partnering with both ingredient manufacturer and brand owner. So together we all democratize allulose production. We will provide our proprietary know-how, the enzyme, and our partners will help us with scale. And this is why we are here. So we came to Asia looking for our Asian partner. Thanks to SpaceF program and WAVE and Jai over there, we managed to conduct a proof of concept with Thai Bev. And we targeted their #1 selling product. It's a honey tea lemon. And we replaced their sweeteners with our allulose. And you can see as the result, by testers, say there is no significant change in taste and also appearance. So we made the product healthier. But I want to tell you that we also make it cheaper, almost by 28%. So let me get you a few words about the team. So Ambrosia team comprised of deep expertise of both biotechnology, fermentation, engineering, but not only, also business and operational acumen. Maybe a bit about myself. My name is Ziv Zweigaft. I have a PhD in biochemistry, but also an MBA from Israel. And in the past 3 years, I became passionate about finding a sugar reduction solution, as I strongly believe it remains one of humanity's greatest unsolved challenges. So join us. Ambrosia is now looking to raise 8 million. And with that fund, we're going to ramp up production to thousands of tons of scale using our own production process in Czech Republic. Thank you very much. Kapun kap. Here for your question.
Please, Dr. Lalana.
Okay, yeah, so thank you very much for your presentation. How much investment would it take to add or, transform the sugar refinery to make that product?
Okay, so the cost structure is relatively simple. Today, allulose market price here in Thailand around $15 per kilo. Globally, you can find sources at €4 per kilo. Our conversion cost is about 30 cents. So we drastically reduced that. And with the amount of sugar you have here in Thailand, I mean, it could be affordable as much as fructose. Okay, so we aim to reach a cost parity with commodity sugars.
So sugar has functional roles or properties in making bakery products, right? Would your product affect the functional properties?
Okay, so maybe I've not mentioned that, but allulose is a naturally occurring sugar. It's basically the mirror image of fructose. So it provides everything that we need. Provide the bulk, texture, scent, flavor, everything that you are looking from a sugar, only 95% less calories and zero effect on the glycemic index. So we made a product for bakery, for cakes, beverages. It's the same.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Ziv. Thank you for your almost flawless presentation. But I'm curious to know, besides dollar fundraising, what is your present most, what are your challenges that you face right now? I'd like to know that.
Besides fundraising?
Yeah, besides the dollar.
Okay, so what we are looking at is now scaling up the fermentation capacity. Okay, so regarding your question before, our fermentation capacity is simpler because we are producing an enzyme which is much more active. Okay, so we are now transforming to a larger scale of fermentation capacity, and also we are doing product development with our partners because we don't have those skill set at home, in-house. And we also have a challenge of regulation in Europe. Allulose is not approved for consumption there yet. So the obvious market is the US, but we strongly believe it's also, there is huge potential in Southeast Asia. This is why we are here.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever heard of Subplant in the UK?
Yes, we
can you, I guess, compare yourself and Subplant?
Yes, so Subplant, it's actually quite secretive company. They are doing fibers. So they take fibers and then decompose it into sugars, which means no sense. Because fiber actually are healthier and supportive of the gut. So they make shorter fibers and also free sugar. So fiber, in contrast to, for instance, sugars and allulose, have less of the functionality that you will want. Okay, so there are fibers proposition over there. They have sweet proteins. You have stevia. All of them are good to sweet, but they do not give you the overall quantities and qualities that you want from a sugar.
Okay, thank you. And then in terms of, because I love cookies, right? Do you have any tests for that using your products yet?
So I didn't carry with me white powder on the plane for obvious reason. But we can share it with you later, and you can make it onto your home.
Okay.
So we have some beverages ready, but I don't think they are here.
But you've tested baking products and everything already?
Yeah.
Well. Wow, awesome.
I mean, we are not, I would say, the inventor of this sugar. We just make it affordable. So we also try with our partners, we make ice cream, we make cakes, buns, but to be honest, I'm not a very good cook. So, but we do have expertise with that. It's also become bigger, you know, it's because of fermentation it happens.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Maybe Sean, you can share some thought with us about how this very almost perfect, as you said. Any thought that it could be implemented in the real business with this product?
Right. Okay. My thoughts is that allulose is not a new thing, right? It's been around 20 years ago. You kind of like perfected the formula that you're making the cost down to 30 cents at this point in time. So I think you have a great team, you know, of guys. My only concern is that, you know, CDMOs are not cheap nowadays, right? When you want to engage them. And having said that, I mean, we have some insights that we know that you're planning to partner a plant in Czech to do that. But I think the only concern that I have is mainly the regulatories, right? So if you're able to, you know, hold on till the day, you know, working with very good Thai conglomerates, especially maybe Thai Bev, right, in this sense, get a POC and secure something, I think you have a long runway, yeah.
So I just want to comment on that. From the regulatory perspective, I think allulose is approved in anywhere between 15 to 20 countries, okay, and the production scale in Southern Europe, in Eastern Europe will not make a difference. It's a drop in the sea, just a proof of concept. Moving with big guys, that will make a big difference. Now, regulatory will take time, and you said also about CDMO. So since we are producing an enzyme, and a gram of enzyme is responsible for the production of tens of kilos, even hundreds of kilos of allulose, that make our life much easier. Because in a single vessel, we can make kilos and tens of kilos of enzyme, which are translated to thousands of tons of production. Okay, so you do not consume the enzyme. The enzyme is part of the process line, is immobilized, and we can work with the same enzyme for many, many months. Okay, compared to our benchmark, which their enzyme is dead after 3 or 4 days. So this is why we believe allulose, which is known, but now it's available.
Thank you so much, Sif. We're looking forward to your new product. So for our next startup, this one is working on creating functional animal health ingredients from sustainable fermented seaweed. Operating in Singapore and Malaysia, please welcome Simon Davis, Managing Director of Seedling.
Seedling is driven by the vision that seaweed is a vast, untapped source of ingredients for the future. Seaweed is a nutritious superfood, it's scalable to any ocean, and it's entirely sustainable. The market opportunity is also significant as the demand for functional ingredients grows bigger and bigger, and seaweed is ideally placed to serve this market because of its unique blend of nutrients and bioactive compounds, superior bioavailability, and its carbon negative. To capture this opportunity, Seedlings developed a vertically integrated biotech platform for delivering ingredients for feed, fertilizer, and food. To do this, our scientists have developed proprietary seaweed strains, which we contract farm by existing seaweed communities, and then we use the harvest to make our products. This has enabled us to generate significant IP and an innovative product line that we can completely control the quality control and the raw material availability. Our brand, PhycoBio, delivers seaweed-based ingredients to animal feed manufacturers. We're initially targeted purely at pet food because the margins are very attractive and because we perfectly match the market trends. Going forward, we'll roll out this range to other animal groups like aquaculture, poultry, and swine. Under this brand, we've developed the fermentation of seaweed, and we're the first in the world to do this at commercial scale, and we're really excited about the potential where this will go in the future as fermentation enhances the functionality of seaweed. Our current products on the market are functional prebiotics targeted for cats and dogs with specific benefits in skin and coat health and oral health, and we've got other products in the pipeline for immunity, digestion, and antioxidants. We're also working on a supplement for livestock that's been proven to reduce methane emissions by more than 85%. This is a game-changing technology that we're working under a JV to roll out across Southeast Asia. We've had a great time in Thailand this year working with Thai Union's pet division to develop pet products prototypes using our fermented seaweed as an ingredient. And we've been working with Mahidol University to develop feed trials of seaweed in animal feed products also. If there's any companies here in the audience who are interested in seaweed applications, please grab me for a chat. This is a really exciting space to be in. We're a young company, we're ambitious, we're hungry, we're looking for partnerships. Seedling is based on the beautiful island of Borneo. And this puts us in the heart of Asia, which produces 98% of the seaweed in the world. We are heavily R&D focused, and in addition to our pilot factory, we have our own R&D labs and R&D hatchery where we will continue to develop innovations and breakthroughs in the coming years. And let me tell you, the business opportunity is huge. Borneo is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet, and we'll be tapping into this in the coming years to define new seaweed applications, whilst monetizing our IP by licensing it to other seaweed industry players and eventually offering carbon credits for our farms. Our leadership team has deep experience in the seaweed sector and are united by a passion for what seaweed can deliver in benefits to the world in the future. And we're backed by advisors and board members with decades of experience in world-leading companies, and we've brought on board leading investors including AgFunder and Conservation International Ventures. At our heart, we are a sustainability organisation, and we're proud of our social and environmental impact. And we've also discovered that the data and content of our activities is valuable for manufacturers as they communicate their sustainability and excite consumers. We've had a really exciting 12 months. We've got early revenue growth, exporting to Singapore and to the UK, and we've got a number of R&D product relationships in place already. Going forward, we'll be expanding in Malaysia, then aggressively scaling in Indonesia and the Philippines, then across the Southeast Asia region. And to do this, we're raising 2 mil now to 10x our manufacturing and farming capacity, do some key personnel hires, and expand our impact program. The capex for this is under 900K, and this gives us to profitability within 12 months. In summary, we've got winning, proven products, we've got a team that can execute, and we're in the right place to scale. Once again, we're Seedling, I'm Simon Davis, and I'm happy to answer any questions about how seaweed is going to change the world.
Maybe we begin with Sean.
Thanks, Simon. Great pitch. I'm just curious to know, I saw the last slide that you had on your revenue projection, going from 2.1 million to 44 million within 2 years. Can you share with us a bit about how you plan to achieve this target?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. So we're only limited in our revenue by our manufacturing capacity. The market size we're addressing is really huge. And the reason we're going for the next step is we want to take our manufacturing jumps in jumps of 10. When scaling our technology, we've found if we go, beyond that, then we have too many hiccups. So the plan is do a jump of 10, run that for 12 to 18 months, and then do another jump of 10 again.
Right. So you're saying that off-takers are not an issue for you, or?
Not that we've seen.
Right. So it's kind of like a 100% hit rate when you talk to every customer that you have right now?
In the pet market in particular, everyone's really interested in what we're doing. So yeah, we've got a lot of interest. I was at Europe's biggest pet trade fair last month, and everyone's interested in seaweed in particular, but we're the only ones who are fermenting seaweed. We're the only ones value adding to it, enhancing it. So that puts us in a really particular niche.
All right, thank you, Simon.
Sorry, I think I've run out of battery. Anyway, so I'm interested in the methane reducing properties, and I'm not sure if you said you've tested that yet with the farms.
So that's that's due to a seaweed called Asparagopsis. And this was developed initially, I think 2016, 2017, they first discovered it.
Yeah.
And there's about 7 or 8 companies around the world who are working on that particular technology. And it's well proven out to reduce methane emissions in cattle, both in cattle and also sheep. The challenge is how to farm it at scale.
Yeah.
That is the real challenge, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, because I think that's really important because, I mean, if you're talking about meat eating, it will never go away.
Exactly.
You know, people will still be eating meat.
Yeah.
So the solution is how do we reduce the methane emission? And I think your project or your work is very important to that point.
Yeah, look, there's no shortage of demand. It's all supply constrained. And, you know, look, it's a big problem to figure out, but, you know, we're really excited by the work we've done with it so far.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Simon. Yeah, I mean, really awesome what you're doing, actually, and I'm really happy that you're starting off in the pet industry. I have a zoo at home, and one big thing when I'm like watching videos or, okay, what should I feed my dogs, my cats, is like, okay, vitamins this, vitamins that. And I go into Shopee and I like almost get a heart attack at the price. So for you guys, are you guys bringing that cost, are you able to bring that cost of supplements or pet food down, or is it still more of a luxury item?
It's, I think it depends on what you compare it to. We're in the kind of upper end of, because we're more of a small ingredient as part of the mix. Like we're doing only 2% of their final formulation. So we haven't had any pushback on price so far from manufacturers. So I can't imagine that's, you know, really translating through to the end consumer. So yeah, we haven't had any pushback yet on our price. I think we're at the right level for that, you know, kind of low inclusion rate. And adds that premium feel to the product, you know. You're buying for your dog, you know, like fermented seaweed biscuits, you know. It's got that exotic to it, you know, so manufacturers like that.
Okay. And then how about the taste, I would say then? Is it quite receptive or is it like quite pungent?
Well, I eat it myself. But in terms of palatability, we've got great response from cats and dogs so far. They love it. You know, it's kind of got that sea kind of smell and taste to it. Yeah. So, you know, it really enhances the palatability. And that's one of the things we'll work on in the future is can we make actually just an extract just for palatability? You know, we, as part of our process, actually make a spray-on compound that may not be nutritional, just a palatant.
Okay, that would be amazing. My dog is so picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about palatability, but have you done tests like with your product and, you know, like substitute products or other products? And which product does the pets prefer?
Oh, for palatability?
Yeah.
So we haven't done that ourselves, but I believe Thai Union's done palatability trials and it's all been positive.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I guess all the pet owners here are very excited for the very luxurious fermented seaweed.
Yeah, and by saying that, we've got a number of samples. So if you can come to our booth right by the front door, because we don't want to take them home with us, so we'd love to give them out today.
Thank you so much, Simon. Well, we have come so far. Our next startup, they aim to achieve a sustainable future with microbial protein. From Singapore, please join me to welcome Jonathan Chung, CEO and co-founder of Palula.
Good day, everyone. Jonathan Cheng here. Our company value is to change alternative protein to essential protein. Palula is agri-biotech in pet startup in B2B, leading with sustainable protein that is the key motivator for today's consumer. Palula technology allows to create super potent extracts from agriculture side stream. Our technology allows to contribute to the extension of food resources, security of supply, and sustainability with a technology that is able to reduce carbon footprint even further than the most sustainable technology in the markets today. There are many protein sources, alternate protein sources being introduced to the markets right now. The question are they really sustainable? Or are they creating more stress to the bio ecosystem? Polulu brings new products that looks like the one that exists, unlocking the alternative, unlocking the nutrients by tapping into and extracting the super potent extracts from agricultural side stream to produce our nutrient-dense products. These are the prototypes we have produced, valorizing different agricultural side stream. Probiotic beer using red dates, lychee and wolfberry. POC liquid eggs we developed with Chupondon using grain, mango and banana. With portfolio of protein types, we are able to produce nutrient-dense food and beverages at the most affordable cost to ensure sustainability and affordability to consumer when we introduce to them. In addition, we have extended our alternative protein footprint to plant-based derived peptide and exosome as our upcoming product development for cosmetic and therapeutic sectors, and which are they projected to reach more than 1 trillion by 2030. Through our fermentation, we have managed to increase the protein level of more than 30 fruits and vegetables by at least 6 times. Besides protein increase, the process also generates byproducts such as lactic acid, probiotic, and dietary fiber, which could be used for other safer, healthier, and greener product development. We produce nutrient-dense protein without the needs of arable land to grow or engage in solution involving harm to insects as alternative protein sources, which they are sanctioned being capable of experiencing pain and suffering like us. Overall, insects actually needs a lot of energy to produce and emit 14 kg equivalent of CO2 just to produce 1 kg of protein. As of today, we have 7 industrial collaborations from direct agro waste to byproduct from large magnitude of industrial biomass from production that can be utilized for generation value-added high-functional ingredient, enzyme or enzyme-based product. We are delighted to introduce 6-flavor plant-based protein milk, rich in protein and fiber, and our aroma cookies prototypes using the spent grain from Thai beef. We are expected to start our pilot plant by 2024 to produce 1 ton of crude protein daily. Myself was with one of the largest leading food solution MNC in Singapore, handling aviation catering, central plant setup, and also strategic planning. Lily Xuan, another co-founder, 20 years in microbiology and has a great experience in food industry. So we have a lead of advisor team that help put all the resources to support organic growth and business strategy. We work with established research institute to support our R&D, and 6 MOU endorsed for a sales and distribution channel in Indonesia, Philippines, and Taiwan upon commercialization. Our 3 years roadmap is to also introduce our alternative protein not only to food, but aesthetic and therapeutic sectors. Polulu access to next generation nutrition through our technology to accelerate the development of high functional protein to in circular bioeconomy to deliver across a broad target of product from cosmetic also to not only food and therapeutic. So we are seeking for investment and also for strategic partnership for our sales and distribution channel.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. So let's now pick up some idea from our commentators. Maybe we begin with Dr. Lalana, please.
Okay, so thank you. You said that your pilot would be ready next year, right?
Yes, hopefully by Q4 2024. So by Q1, we will start all the setup with our strategic partner.
Okay, and so when would commercial production begin?
Hopefully Q4 2024.
Really, that soon?
We hope so because we already sourced for all the equipment and also the rental space at JTC, Singapore.
In Singapore.
Correct.
I'm just asking why Singapore and why not set up in Thailand? Because to set up, facilities in Singapore, I don't think it's, quite feasible.
Maybe I can answer you. It's a good question. Because our strategic partners is actually in Singapore, so we just set up in Singapore. But of course, we're looking for other partnership, as mentioned, beside investment. But we're really looking for strategic partnership, especially right now we work with Thai Bev, and yesterday so happy we able to speak to Lotte, so hopefully also Thai Union, yeah. So you can adopt us, and we will venture over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, nice to meet you again. I'm just curious, right? You mentioned that you can do a yield of 1 ton per day.
Correct.
Right. So, and you're raising 600K.
Okay, yes.
Right. So what's the cost? I understand that fermenters are not cheap. So how many liters are you looking at?
Okay, good question. Anyway, for the investment for the 1 ton pilot plant, we don't have to invest. It's by our strategic partner.
Okay.
So we will just provide the know-how and share the profit. There's nothing much from our side. It's really low risk.
I see.
Correct.
So for your 600K, how do you intend to use that?
Right now, we are quite stable with our food microbiologies.
Right.
So right now, we want to move to our R&D on our peptide and especially our exosome. Exosome is actually plasma membrane protein that we can use them for cosmetic and also as an EV to transport all these minerals, even protein to those cancer patients.
Right. So far, do you have any off-takers or interested parties that are keen to take on your product?
Yes, actually, yes. One of the actually is the company that came to us to ask us to explore on exosome.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
I just want to expand on that question as well. Like in terms of that strategic partner, I guess it's like quite really good for you guys to go to market. But I guess the demand, right, on the buyer side, your customers, how are you guys planning to go about that? Or is that strategic partner will be helping you sell your product as well?
Sure. We are B2B. So mainly we already have this very solid kind of MOU. They will help us to distribute for the sales in Indonesia and especially Philippines. So not much on this, like really markets our product to consumer, and we prefer to be at the behind the scene.
So really reliant on your strategic partner in terms of going to market, am I correct?
For right now, yes, we are comfortable, but for future, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to ask about your team, right? You have a whole lot of advisors, but I saw in your team it's only you and another lady. How do you manage to get
We
things
are
done?
co-founder, so we have a team of another scientists
Okay,
to
so
develop. Actually, we already developed the POC for exosome, but it's from human. What we want to do is plant-based derived exosome, and that is the only way that we can mass produce and lower down the price to produce this kind of Botox. Is 3 times better than Botox. Yeah.
So how many people in your team altogether?
We have right now 7 scientists.
7 scientists.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just to add on one question, right? You mentioned that you have one strategic partner at this point in time. And how do you de-risk yourself if, assuming that this deal with your strategic partner doesn't go through, then you're going to land yourself into some trouble, right? Okay, and also the last thing is that I will answer Lalana's question on why Singapore later at a separate conversation.
Okay, that's okay. Good question. Basically, we are entrepreneur. So if let's say this deals fall off, we just have to do what we are passionate for. Continue with our R&D. Continue with our looking for other strategic partnership. It's not one field and then we just stop there. As long as I believe we continue, we don't give up. That something will happen. That's light in the tunnel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Thank you.
So we have come to the last pitcher for our startup pitching today from Australia and on a mission to unlock the Earth's most abundant source of protein. Please welcome Fern Ho, CEO and co-founders of the Leaf Protein.
Hi, I'm Fern, CEO and co-founder of the Leaf Protein Co. We exist so that food manufacturers can make better processed foods using superior ingredients that we unlock from Earth's most abundant source of protein, leaves. Now, 14 years ago, the UN recommended us to be eating less meat to help curb global warming. 10 years on, that message hasn't changed. So why aren't we eating more plants and less meat? Well, it's because we have a biodiversity crisis in our food system. 66% of global crop production come from only 9 plants. And this is why 90% of our plant protein ingredients come from just wheat and soy alone, which unfortunately are 2 of the major food allergens. This biodiversity threat is a severe threat to not just the food system, but also our health and the environment, which is why we've developed platform technology to extract plant proteins from any leafy material, helping food companies go from using just 2 to an abundance of plant proteins. Our leaf protein ingredients not only meet consumer needs for a more allergen-friendly, biodiverse and better tasting ingredient, but importantly, the needs of food manufacturers for a high-quality, functional plant protein. Now, plant proteins are a foundational building block for many food formulations, not just as a protein ingredient in the nutraceutical and health food segment, but also as a binding ingredient, particularly in the new plant-based food segment. Our new leaf protein ingredient is more nutritious than the traditional plant proteins because we offer a complete essential amino acid profile and higher digestibility with our ingredient. In addition, we offer these foaming, gelling, and emulsification properties, which are critical for food manufacturers to be able to make shelf-stable processed foods, as well as replicate the texture and mouthfeel of animal-based foods and ingredients like egg white and whey. The challenge with bringing about leaf protein is that it's a really fragile protein enzyme that denatures really easily through any extraction process. And this is why we've produced our process to preserve this delicate enzyme. And one of the ways we've done this is with our proprietary buffer solution that acts like a bubble wrap to help preserve this fragile enzyme, allowing us to produce our high-quality ingredients, such as our 80% protein isolate on the left, which is neutral in color, taste, and odor, as well as our minimum 65% protein concentrate. That's both a nutraceutical ingredient that potentially offers potential antioxidant properties as well. So not only do we produce plant protein ingredients, we also valorize our waste streams. Our fiber byproducts can also be used as a fiber ingredient, as well as for animal food and food packaging. And our residual waste juice allows our farmers to irrigate our farmers' crops. So my co-founder, Connor, has been optimizing our extraction process for the last 3 years and is currently completing his PhD on this. I've had over 17 years' experience in the B2B and B2C space in product management and product marketing. And we're supported by advisors who are the world experts in leaf protein extraction, commercializing novel ingredients, and have previously built, operated and sold a leaf protein manufacturing business. We've validated extraction of leaf protein from a range of plant sources, and our first ingredient will come from alfalfa and oat and barley grass. And we've been really excited to be working with Thai Union here to extract leaf protein from local plant sources. And we've also sent early lab scale samples to many of the interested companies across the world who are trialling our ingredients in finished products like baked goods, beverages, and meat, seafood, and dairy analogues. We've got the green light to go to market in Singapore and the US, which sets precedents in other regions. And so we're now scaling up to pilot scale to allow us to increase production so that we can progress to trials with those food companies with the aim to start commercial production next year. We continue to seek corporate partnerships and are also fundraising so that we can hit our next commercial milestone. Now, processed foods are not going away, and the ingredients available to the food manufacturers have a direct impact on both planetary and human health. So join us on our journey to unleash Earth's most abundant and biodiverse source of protein. Thank you.
Thank you. Dylan, maybe we begin with you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, my main question, right, because let's say leaf protein, I mean, it's not something new, but what's your moat, or how are you going to maintain your competitive advantage compared to the rest of the world, I would say then?
Yeah, so our unique advantage is that platform technology. What we have seen with some of the earlier leaf protein attempts is this big focus on one specific type of plant force. And as I mentioned, our mission is to increase that biodiversity, and that's really what leaf protein is about. So we've been careful about developing our extraction process so that we can adapt to lots of different plant sources. And as you saw, our initial R&D did it across 8 different plant sources. So that sets the foundation for us to be looking at different plants. One of the ways that we've validated is that we're actually also taking waste leaf streams, that's mixed leaves, from a large Australian supermarket to produce some of our initial ingredients together with single sources.
I mean, just because of that biodiversity, right, being able to have a range, obviously the taste would not be the same for each batch, or what's the unique selling?
That's a great question. So yes and no. You would have seen that we essentially have a portfolio of ingredients, and one side of the portfolio is the white protein, which is a rubisco. So rubisco actually chemically is very, very similar across every different plant. So when we isolate that to that high purity of 90-80%, it's actually very similar, irrespective of whatever plant it comes from. So we don't have that issue there. At the other end, with the green protein, that's still a 65% concentrate. What we're retaining there is a nutraceutical ingredient. So we're looking at not just the protein content, but the additional polyphenols and all the other antioxidant and other health benefits that come with it. So the applications are actually quite varied across our product portfolio.
Hi, Fen.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, Sean.
thank you for educating me that I can use leaf as a protein today. Just want to know 2 things. Maybe good to kind of like educate us in terms of like what are the food application they can use this for. And since you are the product person, I'd like to know about your go-to-market strategy. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So I will start with the white protein because that's the one that most of the food companies are really excited for, mainly for its egg white light replacement properties. I mentioned the foaming, the gelation, emulsification. One of the most basic products that we think will be the first application is a beverage. When you look at all the plant-based milks, and it continues to be a huge growing market, there's a lot of issues with stabilization and separation, and they're having to add in a lot of gums or oils that we know that many consumers are turning away from, which is why we see the interest in food companies wanting to use our ingredient to not only provide that emulsification to stabilize, but also the mouthfeel and texture. So oat milk can be quite watery, but with the foaming that you saw with the Thai Union, it actually is quite a, almost like an animal-based type replacement that we put in. So that's in your beverages. The other application is also in baked goods as well. So interestingly enough, we've got a couple of baked good companies that are really interested to use our ingredients within as an egg white replacer. as I mentioned. And then I think probably our third phase of products will be those analogs, so your seafood and your meat analog. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, we break down our current customer pipeline into our small to mid-sized companies and then your large organisations like a Thai union. The small to mid-sized companies is where we do see the immediate opportunities with the nutraceutical ingredients, so our 65% concentrates. There's a lot of interest to differentiate in that crowded market, and we offer them that ability to do that with our ingredient, also with the ability to bring in those antioxidants and other polyphenol properties. And then in the longer term, so commercial facility number 2 that you saw, that will be when we're facilitating those larger productions in the hundreds of tons output.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. So, as you know, like protein is very sensitive for plant-based protein product costs. Yes. And people are using soya and wheat because they're, the cheaper ones. And also they're good, with their functions as well. So with your products, I saw you said it's around $30, right? Which is so much more expensive than, for example, in Thailand, we would buy soy isolate for less than 200 baht. So that's less than,
yes.
So when do you think you can get the price at par to soy?
Absolutely. This is a great question. So we know that the protein ingredient price range is very broad. It starts, as you say, even $1 per kilogram from out of China, all the way actually to over $35 per kilogram from out of Europe. So we know that the applications across that range is very broad. Actually, our protein price point range is from $20 to $30 per kilo, and that's initially at the very start. We do expect that price point to come down, certainly for the green protein. We see the white protein at a higher price point because it's a smaller inclusion rate. But one of the ways in which we are able to continue to reduce our price point is from the input biomass and the cost at scale. So I'll give you a reason why at the moment we're charging $20 to $30 because we're on a smaller scale and we're contract growing, so we're not taking huge amounts from the grower, so we do have a higher price point at 22 cents per kilogram of input biomass. But we expect by our first commercial plant to reduce that to 14 cents per kilogram. And actually, we know we can get that down to 7 cents per kilogram. And that's just the input biomass cost alone, not taking into account the production costs that we know will go down with scale.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So about what year do you think that would happen?
So we're looking for commercial production in 2024. We would look to re-sign our supplier agreements when we start that to get to that next 14 cents per kilogram price point.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Dylan, can we pick your brain on maybe the wrap-up of this protein?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just educating the market as well, right? On leaf protein, something new that not people are quite aware of. So I think that's going to be a big thing for you guys going forward as well, or your partners. How are they going to educate the market with leaf protein? But especially here in Thailand, it's very price sensitive. So I be careful for that too.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Fern. You have any last words? It seemed like you're about to say something.
Oh no, I was just going to say that that's where we've also been very selective with our plant sources, and also from a regulatory perspective. We use leaves that are recognised as edible plants. So many of the plants we've extracted from are things like spinach, lettuce, cabbage, foods that are already recognised as edible. So that helps to lower, say, comparison to insect protein, which is obviously a lot more novel.
Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much, Fern, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And guys, that is all our 8 pitching session today. Thank you so much everyone for still staying with us. But this is only just a brief moment. We have 5 minutes for all the pitcher to present and about 7 more minutes for the commentators to ask on questions. If you guys want to talk to them, they're more than welcome. Pick up their brain. They have the booth at the very entrance, or if you have the booklet, you can scan the QR code and drop in some questions or book a meeting with them. And for the Space F Batchful Accelerator Demo Days, we have come to almost at the end of the event today. But before we move on to the networking session and also with the closing ceremony, I would love to invite our other precious program partner on the stage to give us a closing remark. To begin with, I would like to invite the representative from Mahidol University. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Banjong Mahai Sawiriya, President of Mahidol University. Please welcome.
Good evening. Dr. Panat Chairat, Executive Director of the National Innovation Agency. Dr. Thanyawat Kasem Suwan, Group Director, Global Innovation, Thai Union Group Public Company Limited. Kun Tongchai Thanachanan, Executive Vice President and Chief Sustainability and Strategy, Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. Mr. Jeff Chaholi, Director of R&D, Lotte Fine Chemical. Distinguished guests, members of place, and participants. Thank you for joining us today for the SpaceF Batch 4 Accelerator Demo Day. On behalf of Mahidol University, I am pleased to be part of today's successful event and to see so many of you here in person and staying with us until the end of pitching session. I hope all of you enjoy attending our event today and experience their remarkable innovation showcases. Thailand food industry has long been one of the key growth areas and of the target S-curve industries in Thailand new economic model. During the past few years, it is undeniable that Thai food entrepreneurs and all startups have been established and showcased their strength successfully at both regional and global markets. Even when in light of the post-COVID pandemic, today's event also has helped paving their ways and marks a big step towards its success since SpaceF program aims to discover and help build more successful food tech entrepreneurs or startups from Thailand and around the world. SpaceF has now been internationally recognized as the first food tech startup incubator and accelerator in Thailand, offering co-innovation lab and SPED with a complete mentoring program since 2019. As one of co-founders, Mahidol University has one of our corporate strategy towards global research and innovation. Together with entrepreneurial education, we also have produced significant high-quality research, innovations, and global talents, graduates with entrepreneurship. As we are one of the nation's leading research universities, it is promising for research facilities and equipment, together with experts in varieties of areas that would be readily available to support and facilitate the future generation of SpaceF food tech entrepreneurs. I am delighted to see that Mahidol, through the main coordinator, Faculty of Science, Mahidol University, and Institute for Technology and Innovation Management of Mahidol, put great effort and dedication to accomplish these innovation drive goals of SpaceF vision and mission in order to help promoting the SpaceF startups and creating food tech startup ecosystems in Thai University and for our country. On behalf of Mahidol University, I would like to express cordially gratitude to all partnerships for your dedication presently and the near future. I would like to once again congratulate the current 8 SpaceF startups from Batch 4 Accelerator Program today for their success. In addition, I also like to convey thanks to working teams behind the scenes that bring the project SpaceF into success now and then. Lastly, I strongly hope that SpaceF would continuously success in driving the futures of food tech industries and ecosystems in Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Banjong Mahai-Sawiriya. And now I would like to officially welcome and invite SpaceF's newest partner, Lotte Fine Chemical, to deliver a closing speech. But before we have the speech, I would love to show you the video introductions of Lotte Fine Chemical first. Please enjoy.
We are by your side to make your day a better one. Materials of natural origin meet our technology, and they become the source of your health and happiness. We are moving forward for that mission. Our footsteps bring together and create synergy. And reach you in the end. To make your everyday life sustainable. We continue. May your good day meet our values and lead to a better tomorrow. Fine today, green tomorrow. Lotte Fine Chemical.
Now, please join me to welcome Mr. Jeff J. Ho Lee, Team Leader, Food and Pharma Development Team from Lotte Fine Chemical. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeff from Lotte Fine Chemical. First of all, I'd like to express my thanks to SpaceF partners who approved Lotte's joining as a SpaceF partner. And special thanks to Dr. Nod for giving me the opportunity to be here. Lotte started the chewing gum business in 1967 and has grown into a group with 91 subsidiaries and sales of $63 billion. I have a Lotte chewing gum. How much? How much? 10 baht. Yeah. Lotte has the know-how how to grow from 10 baht chewing gum to $63 billion in sales across all fields, including food, chemical, department store, construction, hotel, and so on. And Lotte had investing in the bio business for the future. To give you one example, Lotte Biologics took the first step toward entering the bio business by successfully completing the acquisition of a biopharmaceutical plant from Bristol Myers Squibb in US by investing $160 million. And our goal is to grow into a global top 10 CDMO company through continuous investment. I'm currently standing here as the Director of R&D and Startup Investment of Lotte Fine Chemical. Lotte Fine Chemical is in charge of the new bio business of Lotte Group chemical companies. We invested in a cultured meat startup in Korea and we are reviewing the next series investment again as a leading company. And through Space App, we have discussing investment or cooperation with 3 companies from Space App Batch 3. Lotte plans to continue investing in startups, and we will share Lotte's know-how with startups. We'll be a foundation by your passion for children and humanity and beautiful Earth. Let's start journey together to create another new success, such like Lotte Group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeff. At SpaceF, we celebrate diversity not only in terms of genders, race, and background, but also in the diversity of thoughts, experience, and skills. Hence, this is batch number 4, and we will continue to have more and more. And please feel free to join us and talk to other startups at their booth, or please scan the QR code to find them and send them some questions. And on behalf of the SpaceF program, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our commentator. First, Dr. Lalana Thiranusornkit, Program Director from Thailand Management Association. Second, Dylan Kyoto, Chief Investment Officer from A2D Ventures. And last but not least, Sean Mark, Chief Operating Officer from Innovate 360, for giving us wonderful thought and comment for today. And to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the startup and guests for making this event another important milestone to the food industry and the startup industry in Thailand. I would like to be, on behalf of everyone from the SpaceF, to thank you all. And now I would like to return this main stage to my wonderful, beautiful host. Please welcome.
Well, thank you very much once again. What an amazing and inspiring session that we have witnessed today. สำหรับช่วงนี้นะคะเราจะมาถึง
So we have come to the final session of today for SITE 2023, and I believe that we have had a positive impression from the 3 days of the event. And we have seen the determination of the NIA. Please give a round of applause to the NIA once again.